What is up, guys? Evildoers Harm here today, and today I have for you another build guide. So in this video, what I'm going to be going through is the Frost Warlock, one of the higher DPS things and one of the more sought-after classes for against PvE bosses and endgame dungeons and thing like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the DPS rotations and what skills you need to take in order to fulfill this DPS rotation. So the main rotation you're going to be doing pretty much entirely throughout every time, all the time, is your right mouse button into your F of Rupture. So your right mouse button bombardment, you have three different options. I don't really like this middle one. I don't really know what purpose it has as opposed to the other two. Your other option is an AoE. So AoE for clearing your way up to the boss, for clearing mobs faster. It also heals you, so if you're finding yourself running low on health, it's a great option. But I like to stick with the first one for that increased damage. It does like twice as much damage as the AoE one on single targets, as long as you're hitting the instant cast. So how do you get to this instant cast for this bonus damage? It's through the use of Rupture, which is your F. So we'll go to this and look for it on your F. So you see Rupture here. So Rupture does a decent amount of damage, but it adds this target for 1.2 seconds. So during this target for 1.2 seconds, you can instantly cast Bombardment. So you can cast it 3 times in the amount of time from using Rupture. And it recovers 6 focus for 2 seconds, so it gets you your focus back for continuing to cast Rupture, or continue to cast Bombardment, and it also gives you health back on the hit, and it reduces the cooldown of Dragon Call, which is going to be something really, really important late game. So anyway, let's just look at this basic combo here. So it's right mouse button, right mouse button, right mouse button, and you see Rupture is now popped up and I can press it, so I hit Rupture, recovers my focus. Once I can get back into Bombardment, 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 and I actually ran out of focus there. So how do you get focus back if you're running low on? Alright, sorry about that. So if you're running out of focus, you can recover it using Mantra. So let's just right mouse button until we run out of focus to show you what Mantra is. So right mouse button, right mouse button, right mouse button, right mouse button. Okay, I'm out of focus. I can't do anything. So Mantra is your your third auto attack. So you see now my left mouse button is highlighted and I could use Mantra there. So 1, 2, and now I have Mantra. And if I use Mantra, it recovers 15 focus, which is really, really cool. In order to get it to recover that focus, you need to spec it into focus recovery. And once again, it recovers 15 focus during Mantra, and it gives you 5 seconds. So it's 15 focus over 5 seconds. So 3 focus per second. So that is really, really useful because it lets you continue to cast Bombardment. So if you ever run low, you throw in 3 auto attacks, and then you have your Mantra back, and you continue your Bombardment Rupture combo. But this really isn't going to happen too often because we're going to get into the next combo of your Dragon Calls. So Dragon Call is like the bread and butter skill of the Warlock, the Frost Warlock, and as well as the Dark Warlock. But anyway, so the Dragon Call skill does a lot of damage, but it's got a decently timed cooldown here. So you got to be able to keep casting this over and over. So how do you do that? Well, like we saw earlier, Rupture lowers the cooldown of it by 3 seconds. And so if you hit Rupture 5 times, then you've reset the cooldown of Dragon Call. In addition to this, if you get the Hong Moon skill of it, you can cast it once again whenever it critical hits. So you can essentially continue to spam the skill over and over and over and over again. But the problem with the skill is that it has a cast time of 2.5 seconds. So how do you get this 2.5 seconds to cast or to be able to continue casting it? Well, you have to do something that lets you cast it instantly on hit, which happens to be Imprison. So Imprison, if you spec the first option for increased damage, it lets you cast Dragon Call at the end of it instantly. So let's show you that right now. So we're going to cast it 1, 2, 3, and now you can see my Dragon Call can cast instantly. There was no cooldown time, and I can go into doing whatever I want right now. Like if I wanted to get back into the Rupture, or Bombardment, 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 Rupture combo. And you see I'm having no focus problems at all either because of the focus recovery that you get during this whole effect. Really, really useful. Okay, so that's how we get one way to get instant cast on our Dragon Call. How else do we get this instant cast? Well, the other option is through the use of Leech, which is on your F. So Leech can be casted whenever you hit something with Brand. So how do you put Brand on something? Well, your 2, Soul Shackle, puts Brand on enemies, as well as Imprison, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Nope, it's just Soul Shackle. Anyway, so Soul Shackle brands the enemies, and when an enemy is branded, you can use Leech on them. So as you'll see here, we're going to do it. So 2, and they're branded, so now I can use the Leech. And then that also gives me instant cast on Dragon Call. So that's how you get into that. And then I hit the critical, so I get another instant cast using my Hong Moon skill that I picked up. But anyway, so that is how you 2 ways to get into the instant cast on Dragon Call. So the instant cast time on the on the Leech is actually 12 seconds. So if you continue to rupture, bombardment, rupture, if you continue to do that combo that lowers it by 3 seconds each time, you'll be able to reset it. So let's show you that now. So hit brand on it, and then hit rupture. So now, or hit Leech rather. So now every time I hit a rupture, my cooldown drops by 3 seconds, as you see there, and I get another cast. And once again, hit another rupture, and you continue this, got a crit. So as you can see, this is how you start getting really, really high DPS numbers out of the Dragon Call Rupture combos here. Okay, so that's one of your another major DPS combo. But a skill we haven't talked about yet is Wingstorm, which is your V. So Wingstorm does a good amount of damage over 3 hits, and it also decreases the cooldown of Dragon Call and Tether Blade, which is your X, which also brands an enemy. So if you don't have your Soul Shackle up, or if you don't want to root the boss because it's a boss that you don't want to root, like this boss here, and you want to use to get your brand, you can use Tether Blade to get a brand mark on them to get the Leech and continue to spam your bombardments and all that good stuff that we've been talking about. So, but Wingstorm is a really, really cool skill that reduces the cooldown of things as it hits, as well as does a lot of damage. And it resets the same exact ways that we've been resetting. So if we hit the 3 hits of Imprison, then we get an instant cast Wingstorm and an instant cast Dragon Call. So now we can get into the main DPS rotation, and you see every time something hits, I get cooldown reductions. And then likewise, we're going to reset the boss here, and we can brand. We can brand the boss, and then we can hit it with Leech, and then once again we can Wingstorm and spam our right mouse button F, and we've got Wingstorms going, and we're getting really, really fast cooldowns now on our 4 of Dragon Call. So that's basically the main combo setup, and that's the main skills you do for your main DPS rotation. Now, the other thing you have is you have Soulburn as the Warlock, one of the most sought-after party buffs in the game. So what does Soulburn do? It lasts for 15 seconds, and it increases your critical damage, movement speed, and then it also resets all of your skills. Also, during Soulburn, you get an Awakened skill. So the Awakened skill that you get during Soulburn is Awakened Bombardment. So let me go down and scroll all the way down to level 45. An Awakened Bombardment, what it does is it decreases the cooldown of Dragon Call by 3 seconds and makes your next Dragon Call or Wingstem cast instantly. So if you every time you hit each time you hit a bombardment during Soulburn, your Dragon Call cooldown reduces by 3 seconds. And then if you hit a rupture immediately following that, then you're also going to be able to reduce it another 3 seconds, and then you can see the cycle continues to the point where you're essentially just casting Dragon Call instantly. So let's show that combo here. So we're going to go into our tab to bring out our the Thrall. Then we're going to hit tab again to open up into the Awaken. So now you see reset instant cast on that. And so now every time I hit, I keep lowering the cooldown by 3 seconds, and I keep continuing to spam, and you can see we get a lot more Dragon Calls are coming out than were typically coming out prior. So that's the main combo on that, and you see it's worn off now. So what do you do when it has worn off? Well, you've got a few options. You can mark to get brand, to get Leech, to get back into the same rotation, except with a bit longer time between your use of Dragon Calls. Or you can just continue to right mouse button bombard, bombard and then to rupture if you don't have a Tether Blade or a brand up, or Leech if your Leech is still on cooldown as well. Another thing, or rather, now let's get into the whole full-on combo that you should be running as a Warlock to get maximum DPS rotation in the Frost build anyway. So you're always going to want to open up with your Shackle. No, you don't need to do that. Against mobs, you do need to open up with Soul Shackle to keep them in place. But if it's a boss, you should be having a tank that's keeping it in a good place just to be able to cast Imprison. Also, if it's a boss that you don't want to have to shackle down or keep it rooted because it'll set something off, like the Angler Yeti or on this boss here, you can just go right into the Imprison. So if you hit this 3 times, you get your instant cast. Okay, so now you're going to hit X to get your Leech, which is going to reset instant cast on Wingstorm and on Dragon Call again. So now you've got both of those, and you've got the time to spam. So you're going to want to spam for a little bit. Continue to spam, continue to spam, continue to spam. Right, okay. So now you're coming towards the end of your Leech, and I'm sorry, I'm getting knocked down. So at the end of your Leech, actually, I'm just going to reset the boss. So now let's pretend we're at the end of the Leech here. okay? And at the end of the Leech, you're going to want to hit Soul Burn again. So your Leech is expired, you're going to hit Soul Burn again. Soul Burn is going to give you instant cast again on your right mouse and on your F, rather, on your 4 and on your V, Wingstorm and Dragon Call. So you can get back into DPSing once again. And it also has reset the cooldown of the Leech and Imprison. So after this time expires on this, on the Soul Burn, which is right now I can brand it again, hit Leech, and I can go right back into the DPS rotation while I wait. So the next time the Leech expires, or this Leech expires, which should be any second now, I think it's 3 seconds, the next option is going to be to, so now our Leech is expired for the second time. We don't have our Soul Burn buff on full cooldown yet. So what we got to do now is we can once again hit Imprison to get another instant cast. And then at this point, we've probably got a little bit of time left until another Leech is up again to continue the spam. So at this point, you just right mouse button Fing until you get another Leech up to continue the cycle by pressing X or by pressing 2 to get the Leech and then continue the cycle. And then eventually, after a minute and a half, you can use Soul Burn again and get back into the main full-on DPS rotation. So that is basically it. That is the basic rotations and skills on the Frost Warlock. So I hope you found this video useful. And if you did, please leave a like and subscribe if this isn't your class, or if you're looking for something else, then just keep checking back often. I keep making videos. I'm going to make more of these videos for different classes. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.